Hey everyone, this is Paul Gale from paulgalenetwork.com, and thank you for joining me today for video game sales. It is June 14th, 2022, and in today's video we are going to check out the US NPD results for the month of May 2022. The results come to us from Matt Piscatella. He put this up on Twitter. He represents the US NPD group, and let's hop to it, okay? May 2022, US NPD thread. Consumer spending across video game hardware, content, and accessories fell 19% when compared to a year ago to $3.7 billion. This is the lowest monthly spending total the industry has achieved since February 2020, which was $3.5 billion. So May wasn't necessarily the hottest month. You look at that much money, and that's a considerable amount, but 19% is quite a drop. And only February 2020 was lower with 3.5 billion. Year-to-date spending has reached $21.9 billion, a 10% drop when compared to the same period in 2021. Subscription content is the only category showing year-on-year spending growth. So that's a positive upswing, but hopefully before too long, hardware manufacturing becomes easier, chips are stabilized, and we're seeing more consoles get out there, because more consoles means more people buying them and buying games for them, which increases software as a result. US NPD hardware. Video game hardware dollar sales fell 11% when compared to a year ago to $216 million. Year-to-date spending on hardware declined 9% to $1.8 billion. Nintendo Switch led all hardware platforms in both units and dollars in May 2022. Switch was also the market-leading platform in hardware units sold year-to-date, while Xbox Series generated the highest dollars sales in the period. This is interesting because there are some months where Nintendo Switch, more often than not, is the best-selling system, but Xbox Series or PlayStation 5 is close enough to it that since those systems overall cost more, they actually ended up bringing in the most revenue for the month. This time around, though, Nintendo Switch was far enough ahead that it also was the best-selling, best-grossing console platform. And that includes, of course, the Nintendo Switch OLED, and the Nintendo Switch Lite stacked up against Xbox Series S and X, PlayStation 5 disc and digital only editions. So pretty impressive. Also, interesting to note, the Nintendo Switch is the overall best-selling console of the full 5-month period. That didn't change from last month's April. It was still the same. But Xbox Series is the overall best grossing for those 5 months. Now, I did ask Matt a question on Twitter, and we'll see if he gets back to me. Usually he does answer questions, which I always appreciate, but there are a lot of people talking back and forth, so we'll see. But my question was, is the gap basically close enough between Nintendo Switch and the Xbox Series that could one extra successful month for Nintendo, like in June, be enough that if it sells significantly more, would Nintendo Switch that put it up to becoming then the number one best grossing console of the month? Or is it too close of a gap where Xbox is just right here and Nintendo would have to have a few months in a row of dominating sales significantly in order to tip that? Because then that kind of tells us just how close is the race in some ways. Of course, at the end of the year, Nintendo and Sony will provide just how many consoles they actually shipped, sold throughout the year. Xbox, Microsoft, they usually don't give us quite that same detail, but maybe they will. Usually if a system is successful and you're proud of it, then you're more likely to share the results. Like back in the day, Xbox was proud to boast first to 10 million, Xbox 360. We did it before PlayStation 3. In the Xbox One versus PS4 era, you didn't see them touting numbers as much. Perhaps now that the Xbox Series is doing better, we'll see Microsoft releasing some updated figures more often. But then again, it's probably still behind the PlayStation 5, which recently, passed 20 million worldwide as of the beginning of June, and probably Xbox Series is not quite there yet. So if they released a report saying, 15 million as of now, it would still look as third place to Nintendo, then Sony, and then Xbox. But we'll see. We'll see how the rest of the year goes by. Xbox is making ground. They are beating PlayStation in North America. Europe is another story. Japan is another story, but we'll see how things unfold. Elden Ring returned to the top of the best-selling titles chart after ranking second in April. Elden Ring was the best-selling game of May on both Xbox and Steam, while placing second on PlayStation. It remains the best-selling game of the year, and that's probably not going to change, with the exception, possibly, I think, of Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. However, the NPD will not track Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet's digital sales, so we won't quite know 100%. Maybe later when Nintendo releases their own reports, but time will tell. Evil Dead, the game, was the fourth best-selling game of May and was the only new release to appear among the top 50 best-selling games of the month. That's some staying power for older software, so props to Evil Dead for making it and debuting that high in the number 4 spot. The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim returned to the top 20 best-selling titles chart for the first time since ranking 20th during November 2017. Steam accounted for nearly half of the title's May 2022 dollar sales. That's pretty impressive right there. Nearly 5 years later, 4.5 years later, all of a sudden, previously being 20th and then now coming back into the top 20. We'll see where it charted in just a moment, but that's a pretty cool comeback. Sensor Tower US Mobile. May saw a year-on-year revenue decline in line with March and April, once again led by a significant 23% reduction in consumer spending on mobile games through Google Play. Gaming spend on Apple's App Store was off just 2.6% from the same period last year. Sorry about that. A positive sign for mobile games revenue as a whole came in form of a small yet perceivable year-over-year increase in spending of 1.3% for the top 10 earning games across both stores combined. Here we see what the top 20 looks like. We've got Elden Ring, Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, Nintendo Switch Sports, Evil Dead the Game, MLB The Show 22, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Call of Duty Vanguard, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Gran Turismo 7, Pokemon Legends Arceus. That's the top 10. Going further, we've got Minecraft, Horizon Forbidden West, Animal Crossing New Horizons, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, FIFA 22, Mario Party Superstars, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Pokemon Shining Pearl, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and then the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. So the Elder Scrolls popped in at number 20. So for being gone since November of 2017, 4.5 years later, coming back right at the number 20 spot. That's good to see. The year-to-date top 20 bestsellers are as follows: Elden Ring, Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, Pokemon Legends Arceus, Horizon 2 Forbidden West as they list it here, MLB The Show 22, Call of Duty Vanguard, Gran Turismo 7, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Madden NFL 22. That's the top 10. Then we go into the 11th game, FIFA 22, Minecraft, Nintendo Switch Sports, Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, Monster Hunter Rise, Dying Light 2 Stay Human, Animal Crossing New Horizons, Mario Party Superstars, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. I think it's good to see Nintendo Switch Sports at number 13 because the game came out just at the end of April, and in its opening sales weekend of April, continuing into the month of May, to already be pretty high up there, 13th best-selling game out of the full 5 months of the year for being out just barely over a month of that time. Roughly a fifth of the year so far, and being positioned that high bodes pretty well for it. Depending on how the rest of the year goes, and how the 12 titles above it do, it might end up in the top 10, but it's going to get pretty fierce competition as we go into the later months of the year, the holiday season, a lot of new titles, and so forth. If we look at the top 10 best-selling games for the 12 months ending May, they are as follows: Elden Ring, Call of Duty Vanguard, Madden NFL 22, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, Lego Star Wars, Battlefield 2042, FIFA 22, Far Cry 6, Pokemon Legends Arceus, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. That's a lot of Nintendo in there. That's 1, 2, 3. Well, I guess not an overwhelmingly a lot of Nintendo. A third is Nintendo exclusive. The rest are pretty much multi-platform titles, such as Lego Star Wars and Elden Ring. Pretty good top 12. All right. The best-selling Nintendo Switch game was Nintendo Switch Sports. That goes from Nintendo Switch Sports to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. For PlayStation, the best-selling game on that platform was MLB The Show 22. That goes to Minecraft, being its 10th. And on the Xbox side of things, Elden Ring was its best-selling game, and that goes to Halo Infinite. May 2022 spending on video game accessories dropped 7% when compared to a year ago to $131 billion. Year-to-date video game accessory spending has fallen 14% versus a year ago to $875 million. The PS4 DualShock 4 wireless controller Black repeated its April ranking and was May's best-selling accessory. The Xbox Elite Series 2 wireless controller remained the best-selling accessory of 2022 year-to-date. So we'll see in a month or two, does the DualShock 4 for PS4 continue being the best-selling accessory of each month, month after month? And by the end of July, if it continues to do so, did it do enough in those 2 months and enough over, presumably, the Xbox Elite Series 2 wireless controller in those 2 months to take top position for the year? Or will Xbox be too close that it doesn't matter? Or will Xbox go on top yet again? Or will Nintendo, come out with a new colored Joy-Con to launch alongside Xenoblade Chronicles 3 that we don't know about yet, or a brand new Pro Controller that is made in mass quantities ahead of Splatoon 3's launch? I could see the Nintendo Switch Pro Controller or the pair of Joy-Cons taking over any given month if something like that happens. Would it be enough to sell and reclaim or claim that #1 spot for the whole year? Like 7 months in, 9 months in? It would have to do really well, because we don't know for sure where is the Nintendo Switch Pro Controller and Joy-Cons individually in this accessory chart. Are they like a close third or kind of a distant fourth or fifth? We don't know. But that's it today for video game sales with Polygale Network. This was a fun breakdown. Sorry for the cough earlier. But thank you for watching with me. Let me know if you have any questions. I look forward to your comments in the comment section below. And I'll see you all next time for more video game news and sales information and so forth. Reaction videos, you got it. Thanks for watching. PGN signing out. Have a good one. Bye.